What do you think it would be like to kiss a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Sponsored by Squarespace. Click the links below.
I've seen the most recent ones, the Michael Bay produced versions, and I can't say too much good for them or about them. They just don't have the spirit that the original one did.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was like the worst production experience I've ever had. It made me hate life so much.
Wow.
Why was production halted, and why was the release date pushed back?
I hated life on that show. They were so bad to us.
Megan Fox began calling the film's director Michael Bay a nightmare to work for.
These turtles are from an alien race?
Teenage Alien Ninja Turtles.
Aliens. Confused? Us too.
Meow?
Midsommar, Max Bonar. Back in 2020 when the Sonic movie trailer dropped, the world got a little darker. Like your grandpa being escorted out of a Waffle House, the entire internet fought back. Sonic lovers and Sonic haters combined in a way that would make Ozzy Medea proud. Even Playboy magazine had me write an article on it. True story. The hate was universal enough that the studio gave in, completely redesigning Sonic before the film's release. A smart move? Sorry, Max Keeble. I say that was a weak-ass pussy move.
No, whoa, chill. It's just a mask. See? Don't freak out. Right?
Near half a decade prior, the 2014 Ninja Turtles movie had the same controversy. All across the net were near equal levels of hate, where even a Turtles co-creator described the incoming film as awful and unnecessary. Hell, just search up TMNT, it's just a mask to see all the memes.
See? Don't freak out.
Despite all the rage, did this movie change the designs? Hell no. It was proud of its swamp-ass faces. It never backed down. It made mistakes. It took the wrong turn into a dead-end road, but life has no U-turns. You hit in a dead end, you might as well crank at warp speed. And that's what this video is about. The 2014 Ninja Turtles film with all its controversies. It's Juice and Jam time. Sorry I haven't made another Nickelodeon movie retrospect in forever. There's a lot of vids I want to do, but these are Nick films, and I have made 2 other Turtle vids describing unmade adaptations, one animated and the other with real costumes, but after Viacom bought up the Turtles, they took the safe route. What worked for Michael Bay's Transformers should work for the Turtles, right? Grittier and sweatier and Megan Fox. It's an origin movie where news reporter April O-Face discovers talking turtles, and they gotta stop an evil corporation from creating chemical weapons. Simple, but with many hurdles along the way, like the designs, as the artist responsible was hurt by Jared Krzyzewski, who rendered creatures for Transformers, Krampus, It, Guardians of the Galaxy, Godzilla vs. Kong, and more. But the Turtles was special to him.
Then my kind of big break as a concept artist came when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came into the shop. You know, that was like my bucket list right there, was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up as a massive fan, so getting to work on it and then seeing it executed was a dream come true. That was kind of my, I loved working on the Ninja Turtles. It was one of my favorite projects ever. And very, very exciting experience to be a part of that.
While it was a dream to work on, the fan response really tainted the experience. The first time people saw the designs were not from the trailer, but a leaked Halloween costume advertised on the official Turtles site. Hey, sometimes movie stuff leaks through tie-ins for food or Lego sets. Once the official trailer uploaded, the internet broke.
Well, time to relive this time of my life over again. People, and for real, accused me of ruining their childhoods because of the designs. Nowadays, this would have been Sonic so fast it would have blasted me into an alternate dimension. Like, I know I would do them differently today. There's a lot I would change. But at the time, it was my dream job and it was awesome. Maybe one day I'll get to redeem myself with the TMNT. Seeing the negative reaction was, let's say, not good for my mental health. I was much closer to it than I should have been. And it being my first big IP that I dreamed of working on since a kid, it was, well, devastating. I've learned since then to keep up that emotional wall.
Back when the trailer dropped, I too hated the designs, yet looking back, it's a movie about sewer mutants. Sure, it'd be nice if we got realistic versions of the cartoons like the ones you saw in the Injustice games. But when trying something new, I grew to like this take, even before reading the artist's testimony. It's sewer freaks just wearing any crap they found in the trash, objects that amplify their personality, whether it be Donnie's nerd glasses or Leonardo's xylophones to represent his illustrious music career. The only thing I don't like about these designs is that they're just way too big. Like, they studied ninjutsu their whole life, but since they're fighting mostly human gunmen, they're just eviscerating them, slamming them into concrete, throwing storage containers, cracking their spine, consuming their flesh. The part where they ripped a child's arm off and ate him thinking he was a newborn calf was especially egregious. Thank goodness they fight a mechanical samurai at the end, otherwise these ninja skills would go unneeded. Oh, and how did they learn ninjutsu? It's honestly kind of stupid even for a film about talking turtles. Of course they study under their sensei/father, Master Splinter, but how did he learn the ways? By discovering a how-to manual in the trash, followed by teaching others.
And then I found a way. First, I would teach myself. The brothers followed my lead.
But I could give piano lessons.
But you don't play the piano.
I just gotta stay one lesson ahead of the kid.
Yeah, he doesn't sound all that more skilled than his students. The other origin stories gave Splinter a lifetime of being a pet to a martial artist, yet this reboot had him change his entire life all because he found a book in a sewer. Literally Bible Man's origin story.
And courageously follow Jesus.
There was one book in that damn sewer and it wasn't the good book. Hey, what other books did Master Splinter find down here that altered his ideology? Oh no. No. No, what? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. You can't have that. Hold on. What? Oh, okay. I guess that counterbalances the other. Oh my god!
We'll be back with more Turtles after this.
You're watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What's next will blow you away. It's Kirby right back at you, followed by Ultimate Muscle right here in the Fox Box.
But first, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Got an idea for a cartoon? Want to host a website, organize your art, or sell stuff? You need a website. Squarespace. From so many easy templates, you can use their Fluid engine to customize your site for all your needs. Like my In Construction site, you can post your art in an organized fashion or get into blogs and journals. Tons of drag and drop customization, tons of analytics and statistics. You can have contact pages, set up appointments, email campaigns, paywall subscriptions. There's a lot to use. Keep it organized. Go to squarespace.com for a 14-day free trial. If you're ready to look professional, get 10% off a site using my link. Squarespace.com/RebelTaxi. Check the description below.
Saturday mornings blast into the action zone. It's coming! With the beefed up mutant green machine. Ninja Turtles. Today on CBS.
Another undercooked aspect is the arch-villain, the Shredder, who's barely a character here. When this film was announced, there was a script leak called The Blue Hole about Colonel Shredder, who was a military guy who generates knives from his body, and the turtles were aliens, not mutants. Michael Bay claimed that script was made before he signed on, which the script date says otherwise. Could just be a leftover draft. But the film was delayed multiple times and believed to have been canceled. If only, as we got this Nickelodeon press conference leak.
These turtles are from an alien race, and they are going to be tough, edgy, funny, and completely lovable.
Looks like the alien aspect was sticking around, with rumors of the film just being called Ninja Turtles. Why? I don't know. My theory is this was just a hinted at backstory like their eggs were in space and they landed on Earth and they'd still grow up in New York. Hell, the ooze that mutated them was from space or another dimension. Who knows how this would have played out, but still, there was fan outrage. Even the voice of Michelangelo in the 90s movie trilogy, Robbie Rist, wrote an open letter to Bay.
You probably don't know me, but I did some voice work on the first set of movies that you are starting to talk about sodomizing. I know believing in mutated talking turtles is kinda silly to begin with, but am I supposed to be led to believe that there are ninjas from another planet? The rip of our childhood memories continues.
My god, fandoms really overused that word back then. So Turtles co-creator Peter Laird had just sold the rights to Viacom. In a blog post, he asked for everyone to just wait to judge the movie itself while hating the changes.
Just so it's absolutely clear, I think a planet of turtles is not, in and of itself, a bad idea for some kind of science fiction fantasy story. But as a way to explain any aspect of the backstory of TMNT, I think it is awful and unnecessary.
Oh, that's a good quote. I can exploit that.
Of course, we have no idea at this point if the plan is to have a planet of turtles. It's probably a good idea to wait and see.
And when the movie did come out, he did not make a blog post about it. Peter simply reported what his daughter thought of it, saying she absolutely loved it. No issues here. I also found a Turtles forum of fans waiting for Peter to make a statement. Just waiting. The DVD release came and still no word. I'm sure he'll get around to it, guys.
I can't say too much good for them. They just don't have the spirit that the original one did.
The other Turtles co-creator Kevin Eastman was consulted on the film. Of course, he was more optimistic, though he feels the designs were overly detailed. With the release months away, everyone was dreading this film to the point where Michael Bay told everyone, hey, chill, we're consulting with co-creator Kevin, just wait, you're gonna love it. And so we did wait. Until the trailer dropped on my nuts!
Ninja Turtles. Rated PG-13.
Here's where we saw the redesigns and the new villain, world-renowned white boy Eric Sachs. A new character who's a corrupt businessman with an on-foot clan of terrorists. They're not ninjas, they're terrorists with guns. I guess ninjas are too unrealistic for a story about talking turtles. Even the movie that helped inspire mid-2000s dark reboots, Batman Begins, had ninjas, come on. With no Shredder in sight, people kinda assumed Eric was the Shredder, leading to backlash. A Japanese samurai played by a white guy? Not unless you're Tom Cruise, buddy. But no, don't worry, that wasn't true, because once the movie came out, Shredder was played by a Japanese actor on the side. This was always the plan, to have him be the villain. It's fine, until after the film came out, Eric's actor confirmed, yeah, this Shredder replacement came from the reshoots. Plus, watching other people's vids on this, they pointed out some interesting tells.
Apparently, Orokusaki can somewhat be directly translated, like the Anglicized version of it is Eric Sachs, apparently, right?
Okay.
And even in the French trailer, it's the same voice actor, and he is the version of the Shredder in the 3DS games.
The Shredder.
Yeah.
Sachs also walks around dressed in a black undershirt that just screams Tony Stark's clothes under the armor. Like, you see it, right? In the final cut of the movie, they awkwardly establish that Shredder is Eric Sachs' father figure and mentor, despite being 10 years younger than him. Every time someone verbally acknowledges that they're separate characters, it's an ADR voiceover added after the fact, playing over footage that they had available. You never see someone on screen say that.
In a few hours, Shredder is going to unleash all that stuff.
That was Godzilla Mendoza's video. You should watch our Twisted Metal TV show review. You have no idea how much I love that game. But let's go back to the whitewashing. Look, producer Michael Bay's gotten tons of criticism for stereotype humor and those twin robots. He ain't gonna deal with that again. People are just waiting to call him out.
What keeps showing up in his movies over and over? Racist! Yes! Splinter, he's Asian, right? So you can give him the great big black glasses, give him the big teeth, because he's a rat, right? But they'll give him even bigger teeth. They'll be like, oh, the Ninja Turtles, oh, you get out of my laundromat, oh, it'll be so offensive. Oh, no, God, okay, we can go to, like, the ghetto crowd, right? We can make, like, Raphael a brother, okay? And we can give him, like, golden teeth and, you know,
And after all the anger, a few changes were made. The Turtles were no longer aliens.
So they're aliens?
No, that's stupid. They're reptiles.
And with Shredder now an actual Japanese guy in reshoots, it led to a disjointed antagonist. Eric Sachs does all the work while he briefly talks to the Shredder for like 3 scenes. Shredder does so little in this film that he's less of a villain and more like a mall security guard for hire. Truly a teenager's worst enemy. Like, you never see any actor put on the costume and never takes damage, where you see the face under the armor. During the final battle of Turtles vs. Shredder, there's no personal attachment. Yeah, Shredder did beat up their father early on, and that's all. While the business guy, Eric Sachs, moves the plot along, he hired goons, he mutated the Turtles, he controls the city. Had he remained Shredder, it'd be more cohesive. Think about Boba Fett in the original Star Wars trilogy. Someone who kidnapped a guy and not much else. He's cool, but if you made him the final boss fight without much involvement in the plot, it'd just be stupid. Get out the way! Now, just like the Bayformer films, rather than focusing on the title characters, we focus on humans like April. Most of the film is about her discovering the Turtles and trying to crazily explain what she saw. Funny at first, but gets annoying after so long. Why are there so many of these Michael Bay productions focused on humans? Because recording a guy is easier than blending a CG cartoon into live footage. And that's how we meet the Turtles, which I find their portrayals perfectly distinct from each other, minus the crude humor that even the TV cartoons for children weren't juvenile enough to do.
Oh, Mikey, was that you?
Pepperoni. I thought they had the right chemistry and were the few good aspects in this movie full of horrible choices. All the Turtles are voiced by their motion capture actors, except Leonardo. Hiring a wacky guy like Johnny Knoxville to dub over Leo, the straightforward leader, was pointless. Johnny wasn't even in the sequel. At least Donatello sounds like he's doing a good impression of Turtles voice actor Rob Paulson.
We gotta go now. We only have a 30-second window. You know the plan.
Donatello sounds a lot like me, only a bit nerdier. Don't tell anybody. I was Raphael, Turtle Power Dude, on the original show. People don't know that I was also the entertainment at the Last Supper. I've been around for a long time.
I like them here, though the jokes about them wanting to have sex with April, a human much smaller than them, is honestly the most horrific thing I've seen in cinema.
Oh, she's so hot I can feel my shell tightening.
We can hear you. And there's this pointless emotional confession at the end that's hollow. Like, we don't see much infighting with them for it to really matter. They got the framework for good characters, they're just not fleshed out beyond it. Now, I know Michael Bay didn't direct this, while a lot of people say he might as well have, it's all his trademarks. Well, after watching his other film, Pain and Gain, I'd argue it's a more subdued Michael Bay. His elements are there, just not as aggressive, less horny, less nauseating camera, less orange tinting, and best of all, it's only 90 minutes long. I'd enjoy those Transformers movies more if they weren't nearly 3 hours.
If I was gonna marry one of them, it would be Leonardo. If I wanted one to be my personal assistant, it would be Donatello, because he's really organized. And if I was gonna have a one-night stand, it would be with Raphael.
Oh boy. As fun as these Turtles are, their origin was pointlessly streamlined. Like, it turns out as a kid, April's dead and Eric Sachs were working on Project Renaissance. So they named the Turtles after painters and they marked Destiny brought them back together. How many people live in New York and y'all just ran into each other? Changes like this just make the universe feel small. Now that the Turtles were rediscovered, the corporation kidnapped them and sucked their ooze to make a chemical weapon, one that'll turn the whole city into mutants. That way they'd have to buy a cure from Eric. Everyone pointed this out, but it's just like the Amazing Spider-Man where Lizard Man wanted to mutate all of New York. The city's already a horrible place, why bother? Oh, you turned us into giant mutants that'll fuck you up. What are you gonna do about it, you little bitch?
Come with me. I got a safe place for you to hide, and if you get thirsty, I got a secret stash of Orange Crush behind the fridge.
Anyway, the Turtles escape the evil lab, which is located right outside New York City on top of a frozen mountain? Yeah, the snowy mountains just outside NYC. Is this Rumble in the Bronx? When did New York get that?
I'll take it from here.
Still, this was the most fun part of the film. Afterwards, they face the Shredder, who I think has magnetic blades, yet the magnets don't pull any other metal stuff. And then he dies, and they eat his remains. Oh, and they get the iconic turtle van at the end.
DJ Mikey in the house.
That's the van? It's fucking solar powered. What, was a fucking Tesla too shitty even for you?
Power!
The 2014 TMNT had a lot of issues, and only half of it was focused on the turtles, but it's a fine 90-minute movie to watch in the background with cool fights. One's inspired by the Raid Redemption in the same way this child's drawing was inspired by the Mona Lisa. While TMNT was full of controversy, it was actually a success in theaters, nowhere near the cash Transformers 1 earned, but enough for a sequel. Too bad Raphael's actor, Alan Ritchson, hated working on these films.
Ninja Turtles was like the worst production experience I've ever had. It made me hate life so much.
Wow.
They had all these loopholes, we realized after the fact, where they didn't have to pay us for anything extra. Meal penalties, lunch, overtime, nothing. So we're this group of 4, an island of just ripe for abuse, right?
In a Collider interview, he ranted how tons of actors declined the role because it didn't pay much. Despite him not wanting to waste his younger acting years hiding his face, he took the role, mainly for his kids and since it'll broaden his audience. But Alan found out he wasn't allowed to be interviewed by the press. The studio claims the turtle actors were refusing interviews, but that was a lie. Oh, and after a 14-hour shoot, the studio could not drive them back to their hotel, so they left them outside sitting on their backpacks. They were also promised back-end royalties, meaning they'd also get paid a tiny bit each time a DVD is sold or the movie airs on TV. That adds up over time, but they never got royalties. What a mess. Some other time I'll cover the far better sequel, or more Nick movies. Whatever I feel like. Cowabunghole, man.
Cowabunga! What are you?
We're ninjas. We're mutants.
Technically, we're turtles.
Ninja, mutant, turtle, teenagers.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Let's rock and roll, boys.
Get us out of here, Donnie.
Oh my gosh, they've got...
Are you always telling me what to do?
Check the base, bruh. Still figuring out the buttons.
Giraffes get bald. I hate this. We are running out of steam.